Did you know that the book of Joshua begins with one of the greatest transitions in the Old Testament? Let me show you why. Moses is dead, but the promise is not dead. Joshua is now called to lead Israel into the promised land. God tells him, be strong and courageous. He says again several times, be strong and be very courageous. This is not just encouragement. This is Joshua stepping into command. Then Joshua sends spies into Jericho, and Rahab hides them because Rahab knew how God was with Israel. She had already heard what God did for Israel. That shows us this. Before Israel even entered the land, God was already working on the inside. Okay, here in Joshua 3, starting at verse 14 to 17, let me read this for you. So it was, when the people set out from their camp to cross over Jordan, with the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people. And as those who bore the ark came to the Jordan, at the feet of the priests who bore the ark dipped in the edge of the water, here in parentheses, for the Jordan overflows all its banks during the whole time of harvest. That the waters which came down from upstream stood still. Keyword, upstream stood still. And rose in a heap very far away at Adam, the city that is beside Zaretan. So the waters went down into the sea of Arabah, the salt sea, fell, and were cut off, and the people crossed over the opposite of Jericho. Then the priests who bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of the Jordan. And all of Israel crossed over on dry ground until all the people had crossed completely over Jordan. Seems like another crossing here we see in Joshua 3, 4 through 17 that we seen early in Exodus in the Red Sea. Then Joshua sees the commanders of the Lord's army. This is in caps right here. He falls on his face, and he is told to take off his sandal because the place is holy ground. Just like Moses had a holy ground moment before leading Israel out, Joshua had a holy ground moment before leading Israel in. Then Jericho falls. Not by strength, not by weapons, but by obedience. They marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times and the walls fell. And they shouted and the walls fell flat. Joshua's 1 through 7